to the bathroom remodel series. So I patched the holes, fixed up all the holes and light gouges and stuff on the wall. And before I did the skim coat, we had this medicine cabinet here. It was kind of like an old school medicine cabinet with a metal frame and a wooden door. We were thinking maybe we'll reuse it, not sure. This was the original thing in the cubby hole. So what we decided to do is we're actually just gonna, because it's already framed, it was framed in here, we got wood here, just gonna take some thin drywall, 1/2 inch drywall. I'm gonna frame that drywall around here, and then I'm gonna use some corner bead drywall tape, joint compound, smooth it all out. And then we haven't decided, we're probably gonna put a shelf or something else in the middle or something, but first steps first, just make this a nice smooth edges. So to get started, I just need to measure. So we've got 4 inches, looks like pretty much 4 inches deep all around, and then 20 1/4 tall. So I'll just need to cut my pieces of drywall for that. For this, I just got a 2 feet by 2 feet patch of drywall, and I'm gonna just make my measurements. So I'll just use my straight edge to get it started and make some nice lines, and then you can cut whatever you want out of you can use a drywall knife or a utility blade. I'll probably just use the utility blade. So I've got my measurements. Let's go move on to cutting the drywall. Alright, so we're ready to cut our pieces of drywall here. I'm gonna just use my straight edge here and make my measurements. So that's 4 inches. And then I had 20 inches down. And then make this line over. Start my straight line here. Just connect that. Use that as my guide. Okay, I'm going to take our knife. I'm just going to score it there. take a drywall knife, just to cut the edge so we don't break the edge up without a clean cut there. There you go. Well, snapped the whole piece, but that's no big deal. You see it got a perfectly clean cut, and just cut it off the back now. Alright, so now I just gotta do that for all the sides, and then we're gonna screw it in. Alright, so we cut that first piece. Now to put the drywall, it's just like if you were framing it. We're just screwing this straight to the wood that's framing it, this cubby hole in. So I'm just gonna put a couple screws in. You just want to slightly drive it into the drywall, just like a little gap that you're going to fill with the joint compound after, just so the screw is not raised up. So, it's not going to be doing much here, but I think I'll put 3 screws. One top, middle, and bottom. There you go. Drive that one a little bit more. There you go. And now we're just going to do the same thing with our other 3 sides, and then we're going to smooth it all out with our corner tape and make it look really nice. Alright, so we're ready to put our the corner bead on there. So I've got this straight flex stuff to do the inside and outside corners. So I'm going to start. I've already cut out my pieces. They give you these lines to use so you can get them nicely over all the edges and everything. So you use the paper. This is for the outside corners, and you use the writing showing for the inside corners. So first step, just kind of lather it up with the joint compound where you want to put it. I'm just taking some all-purpose joint compound here. Don't worry about putting too much, because if you're just gonna squeeze it out afterwards. Too much is better than too little, because you want it to grab to something. So you want to put it on that. Both your inside and outside, both the edges here. Said, don't worry about making a mess, because you're gonna clean that all up in a second when you put the tape on the wall. Okay, so Now I've already got my pieces cut. I'll start with the first piece here. And we're just gonna kind of look at it and make sure we're making the straight line how we want. And then I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna use a little smaller knife. First we'll press this on. Okay, now we've got it pressed on where we want it, I think. Looks pretty good. And now we're just gonna put the mud right over the top of it. And that's pretty much the idea. I'm gonna continue going around, finish all the rest of the edges, but I just wanted to show you how we're gonna do that, and we'll come back to it when we have the finished product.